Hey guys. So a year ago, I made a video summarizing why the Chargers are the most cursed and difficult franchise to root for in the league. Didn't think things could really get much worse, but to my utter disbelief, this 2022-2023 season was probably the most painful of all of them. So here we go. Let's start with the offseason. The Chargers make splash plays, trading for Khalil Mack, signing J.C. Jackson to a massive deal, and I couldn't be more excited. Our defense was awful the year before, and I'm talking all the shit possible to Chiefs fans, talking about how we're finally going to lock them up and take the AFC West out of Patty's stupid little hands. So fast forwarding to week 1, the Chargers get the Raiders in a little revenge game from week 18 the previous year, if you guys remember that. And the game ends up being pretty great. Carr gets picked 3 times, Mack sacks Carr 3 times. But things can't be perfect, of course, because it's the Chargers. And after racking up 66 yards in a quarter and a half, Keenan Allen hurts his hamstring. Losing Keenan always sucks, but I was still pretty optimistic. We were going into Arrowhead the following week for the first Thursday night game of the year, and the first game being played on Amazon Prime. Gonna have a big audience. J.C. Jackson's gonna make his debut, and we have a chance to handle the Chiefs on primetime. So the Chargers take a lead for majority of the game. They go up 10 here in the middle of the third. Mike makes a freak catch, and I'm pretty excited. Defense has been stout all game. Here comes a big 3rd and long for the Chiefs, known passing situation. And I'm thinking, perfect. We got J.C. Jackson. They're not going anywhere.
This time they send an extra man. Mahomes gets away to the end zone. Caught!
Are you kidding me? Justin Watson. You're getting paid $80 million a year, and you get burnt by no-name Justin Watson out of Penn? Like, great throw, Mahomes and all, but dude, you're right there. Make the play. But it's fine. The offense starts humming. New offseason addition Gerald Everett gets some angry yak down to the 3-yard line. And he's clearly a little tired here, as you're going to see, which is fine. Go on the sideline, eat some fucking orange peels, get some rest. You earned it. Surely we're not going to go no huddle with our clearly exhausted offense and try and rush a play here, right? Right? Nope, we are. Because we're the fucking Chargers.
Big guy to bring down. Again, quick tempo, and picked off at the 1-yard line.
That is Watson, out in front. Snead to protect him as well. All the way for the...
What the hell is that route? I mean, dude, I get you're tired, but don't just half-ass that. Come back into the ball. Clearly it was supposed to be an inside route, and Everett just got lazy. Part of this is on him, the rest is on the coaches. Obviously should have called a timeout. Most of you probably remember Justin Herbert's rib cartilage gets destroyed by the Chiefs' defensive line, and it makes it extremely unlikely for a comeback and difficult for Herbert to stay in the game.
Pump fake. You can tell he's in such pain right there.
But Herbert, being the monster he is, toughens through the pain and throws a dart. Chargers end up scoring and bring the game within 3 points, but ultimately lose. Not only am I furious, but I go onto social media to see my dumbass buddy Book It with Trent celebrating the Chargers covering 4 points, even though they lost. The next week gets even worse when left tackle Rashawn Slater ruptures his bicep and misses the entire season. Just what you want when your quarterback fractures his rib cartilage the week before. In that same game, Joey Bosa tears his groin and misses over 13 weeks, because it's Joey Bosa and he always gets hurt. And to make things worse, the Chargers then get shat on at home by the Jags and prove that their run defense is even worse than last year, something we all thought was fucking impossible with defensive guru Brandon Staley. Oh yeah, and we kept our injured quarterback in down 28 late in the fourth quarter to do checkdowns to Eckler. They scraped by Houston, the Browns, and Denver. But here are a few videos to remind you how shitty that run defense still is from last year. None of these wins were convincing at all. We get on to Seattle, and what this play appears to be is J.C. Jackson getting burnt again, but it actually ends up being something far worse. After going up for the ball, which was actually some nice coverage, J.C. Jackson tore his patellar tendon. I'm not a doctor. I have no idea what the fuck that is. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But after doing some research, I found out that it basically means his knee exploded. So there goes $80 million. Jokes aside, JC, I hope you can heal fast and get back on the field because it's a very serious and rare injury. Best of luck. The same game, Mike suffers a brutal sprained ankle, and even though Keenan returns this game, he re-aggravates his hamstring after getting 2 catches. Oh yeah, and our run D still sucks, and we get clobbered at home by the Seahawks. In the next few weeks, the Chargers lose 3 D linemen supporting that awesome run D to season-ending injuries. One of the injuries is even another torn patellar tendon. Some teams haven't even had a player suffer one of those before. The Chargers, on the other hand, get 2 in one season. Sitting at 5-4 midway through the season, the Chargers must win this rematch against Kansas City to have any hopes of winning the division. I'm thinking we actually have a shot. Herbert completes this dime to Palmer, and we're up late in the game. All we need is one stop.
Kelsey alone on the right. Coming across to the left. On the run, Kelsey! Kelsey, touchdown!
I mean, who else would it be? As I mentioned before, I can't stand Travis Kelce. He's a ginormous tool and does this to the Chargers every year. Bears fans complain about Aaron Rodgers. Try dealing with this asshole and Mahomes. I was ready to throw in the towel, but miraculously, the Chargers finished off strong against a lot of bad teams. They clinched the 5th seed in the playoffs before their last game of the season against the terrible Denver Broncos. So if we locked up our seeding, we're going to rest our starters that have been hurt all year in a meaningless game, right? Right? Nope, because it's the fucking Chargers. One of their most important weapons and biggest playmakers, Mike Williams, who's battled injuries all season, fractures his back on a screen against Denver. He could barely get in the locker room on his own, but Brandon Staley insists he's going to practice this week in some capacity and play in Saturday's wildcard game against Denver. One day before the game, voila. Brandon Staley rules out Mike Williams for Saturday's game versus Jacksonville due to his back injury. Thanks a lot, Staley. So we get to Saturday, and Trevor throws an interception on the second play from scrimmage. It actually ends up being a pick parade. The Chargers pick off Trevor Lawrence 4 times and a half, and Asante Samuel has 3 interceptions in 1 quarter. Things are finally going their way. They even get this punt to happen. The ball bounced off the returner's head. I've never seen that in my life. At this point, the Chargers are up 27-0, and I'm not comfortable yet. I've seen the Chargers blow leads just like this before. You could even see part 1 of this video for a demonstration. All I want to see is the Chargers convert this first down and prevent Jacksonville from getting the ball back to score before half. Surely with the tallest quarterback in the NFL, 6'6" Justin Herbert, you're going to run a QB sneak on 3rd and inches, right? Right? Nope. We're going to run a jet sweep to 6-string practice squad receiver Michael Bandy, and he's going to fumble. And that's going to allow the Jags to score before half, my biggest fear. And then they're going to score again and again. And we're going to miss a field goal because we're the fucking Chargers. He's missed 1 all year. And they're going to score again. And Joey Bosa's going to shit his pants and get unsportsmanlike, which allows the Jags to go for 2 from the Chargers' 1-yard line instead of the 2-yard line. And they're going to get the conversion because who'd have thought a 6'6" QB doing a QB sneak was a good idea. The Chargers get the ball back with 5 minutes left up 2. All it takes is a few first downs to win this game. Offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi's called a horrible game so far. He's called just 7 run plays since being up 27 points to 25 pass plays. It takes common sense to know you should be running the ball as much as possible to take time off the clock and not give the ball back to the Jaguars. If he can just get a few plays on this drive right, the Chargers can avoid a meltdown to the Jags. On first down, Lombardi calls a max protect play action pass with just 3 receivers. Notice Keenan Allen is not on the field for whatever reason. DeAndre Carter, 4th-string receiver, is also injured in game. The backup left tackle is also hurt, so Herbert gets pressured quickly with no one open, takes a sack, and the Chargers ultimately punt since they started this drive with such a bad play. The game ultimately comes down to this. Jags are down 2, and if the Chargers stop them here, the game's over and they've avoided the meltdown. All they need is to stop them on 4th and 1. Now remember those shitty run plays I showed you earlier? No, not that one. That's not it. No, not that one either. That's not it. Yes, this one. 4th and 1, same team, same situation, and this is what the Jags did to us the first time. You would think that we would see it coming. They run the same exact play in a similar formation, just to the other side of the field, and get well within field goal range. Great going, defensive guru Brandon Staley. To no surprise, the Jags make the chip shot field goal and make the 3rd biggest comeback in playoff history. So there you have it. The Chargers end the season in the most Charger way possible. Was I surprised? Not really. I can't believe I convinced myself that this year would be different in the beginning of the season. I hope to not be making another video next year, but odds are I will be. Chargers, I still love you, but you have put me through a lot of pain, and I find this to be very, very cruel, unfair, and sick. If you guys are cursed, please figure out a way to reverse it.